Hi, this is Paul Kim with New Jersey Real Estate Investors Group. I want to thank you for joining us. In this video, we're going to go over foreclosures and short sale and how to profit as an investor. This is a web event that we did back in 2015. If you want the full version with the question and answer section, please check out the link below to become a premium member of our real estate community. All right, enjoy.
The main topic I want to talk about today is on short sales, and I've been doing short sales since I would say 2008. This is a very brief background of myself. I left corporate America in 2004. I think a lot of people could resonate with this. I read Rich Dad Poor Dad. I did not take that course, but I did attend Robert Allen's, I think it was a half-day class. And I think I signed up for a 3-day class right after that. I mean, I got so excited. And then I probably spent well over probably $25,000, if not more, for seminar classes. And I've attended 3-day seminars all over the States. Las Vegas, Georgia, California, Indianapolis, Detroit. So when the market tanked around 2006, 2008, I became involved with a network marketing company, and I took kind of a leave of absence from my real estate. And this is actually, it was good and bad. I mean, network marketing taught me personal development. Your income is a function of where you are internally. And it's so true. It taught me sales. It taught me business. It taught me discipline. I made some money on network marketing, and then I decided that I want to go back into real estate. And so in 2008, basically, I think around that time, I read a book, Crush It, by Gary. I'm not even going to pronounce his name. And that book just resonated with me. And it's basically, to become an expert in something and to keep after it. So that's what I did. I said, I'm going to focus on real estate and become the short sale expert. And that's basically what I did. And now, I can, I'm doing, I am an expert, and I'm not going to say I'm a guru, but I think I know enough. So a short sale is when a homeowner becomes delinquent on their mortgage, and then the mortgage bank or the lender files a lawsuit, which is called a lis pendens. They do that in order to get title back so that they can sell the property, and so that the bank could get their money back. So this is when the foreclosure process starts. And so at that point, the homeowner they're going to be evaluated by the bank to do either a loan modification, a short sale, or a deed in lieu. Now, in many instances, the homeowner may not want, or they're just scared, so they kind of ignore the bank, and they may stay in their home for, I don't know, a year. I've known people that stayed in their home for a couple of years, but they will eventually get foreclosed on. So most homeowners will cooperate to do a short sale. So anyway, I just want to give an overview. So the bank will ask the homeowner to list the property if they want to do a short sale. So in that instance, they will typically go to a listing agent, a real estate agent, and they will get an offer. And then once they get the offer, they will submit the short sale application with a contract to the bank. And then the bank will order a BPO, which is called a broker price opinion, or the bank may order an appraisal to determine a third independent value. So the bank will then evaluate the homeowner, and then they will evaluate the offer based on the bank value. The bank will counter or decline or accept the offer. That's an overview. I mean, this is a very, very, there's a lot more involved than just what I told you here, but I'm just giving you an overview, and let's go to the next slide. So since I've been doing this since 2008, and I could tell you that let me show you, let me pull up let me see if you can, I'm going to pull up, hold on a second, let me close this, and I'm going to share my desktop. Okay. Just bear with me. All right, so this is the town of Bergen. Okay, so what I've done is when I do my marketing and to try to see the trends, if you can see the trend from, let me go to all the way to the bottom. So basically what I did was I listed all the towns and I put all the list pendants that's been filed per year by each town. And so if you go to the bottom, you'll see the trend from 2007. It was going up to 2010, and then it dramatically decreased in 2011. And this during this time is when a lot of the I think that, a lot of the banks were getting a lot of heat. People were filing lawsuits, and so the bank at that point stopped filing list pendants. But as you can see from 2011 and on, it's been increasing. And I can tell you 2014, it's a lot. I didn't get a chance to do 2014 yet, but I'm just telling you the trend right now. So there is, in my opinion, there's an untapped market, and you're going to see more and more short sales, in my opinion. All right. Let me just go back to my presentation. All right. There, I'm back. And let me go back to my notes. All right, so short sale is not the Wild West. When I was doing short sales back in 2008, it was wild. Meaning the approvals that the banks were giving were very generic, and so a lot of funny businesses were taking place, especially on the HUD. But it's not like that anymore because banks have streamlined. They understand what they're doing. In most of my short sales that I've worked on, banks have sent multiple BPOs, multiple appraisals, because banks know that they want to validate the value. So they don't just give out the property at a discount. Let's say, if you submit a lowball offer. But there is still an untapped market if you know how to handle leads. And, and there's, in my opinion, there's two ways that, actually there is only two ways. There's ways that you can get leads from direct mail, and also you can also get leads from the multiple listing service. So two approaches to short sale. You can do what's called a direct market campaign. Basically, you send letters to people who are delinquent, list pendants, when they file. Now, where do you get list pendants? You get them at the courthouse. Other marketing that work is bandit signs. There's also ways that you can look at the MLS. You go look at short sale properties on the MLS. Go after properties that have expired on the MLS. So I do both direct and also go to the through the MLS. Let me see next. So what I mean by pre-MLS short leads are pretty much when you do direct mail campaign, because those are you're targeting people that have not gone to the listing agent to get the properties. I mean to list the property. So um, how you handle MLS is a different approach. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. So with the pre-MLS short sale leads, basically if you put up a banner sign or you send direct mail and you get a lead, first thing you need to do is you need to go and meet the homeowner and visit the property. Um, you're there to solve their problem, which is they're underwater with their mortgage and they don't know what to do. So you're there to solve the problem. But for most of you, you probably have no clue what to do. But mainly you're there to just find out their fear, their pain. I want to chime in, Tom. Tom, are you there? Let me see. Hold on a second. Let me change my settings for.
All attendees are muted and may unmute themselves by pressing *6.
Hey, Tom.
All right, so you know, I've been doing what Paul said. I put out a couple of bandit signs. Well, not a couple, a few, a couple dozen probably. And I got a call off of one, and it was a homeowner who is way behind on her payments on her mortgage. So the bank keeps, the bank filed foreclosure with her. So she called my number, and I went over, looked at the house, talked to her, spoke to her, found out, what her issues are. And I told Paul about it because I'm in the 18, and that's what we do there. We discuss, situations. And today I actually yesterday I sent over the short sale paperwork that Paul had given me to give to the homeowner, and she's on board. She thinks it's a great idea. And, this is my first short sale, and Paul's helping me with that. And so this is, the process is starting, and it all started with a bandit sign. It cost me about $1.50.
Good. What do you think was the critical component that, I mean, you don't know short sale, but I told you to go there and just find her pain and try to just comfort her and try to find out what the main issue was. And I think you told me that her main fear was that she didn't want other people to know that, I guess, of her situation, right?
Oh yeah, that's what I was really surprised. She even has friends who are realtors, and they don't know anything.
Right.
She has 3 kids, and they don't know anything.
Right. So the fact that you were there, see, if you just listen to her, right? And I told you that you have to listen to what they want, and because they ultimately, you have to listen to the homeowners and find out what is it that they want. And so a lot of times it's we're so drawn into making a deal that we don't listen to the people that that we are trying to solve their problem, right? Let me just put it back on listen.
All attendees are muted.
All right, so depending on whether the property is a fixer-upper or not will determine how you approach this a lead. A property that is in move-in ready condition is not likely for an investor or a wholesaler, but it's still a lead no matter what, and you can still profit from that. And I mean, I cannot cover everything that I would normally, very hard for me to cover everything within an hour span. So I'm going to give you as much information I can. If there's specific questions, then you may have to. Um, that's the whole point of becoming an affiliate and doing the coaching, is so that you got to get your head in there and start doing things. So anyway, so if it's a fixer-upper, you will make an offer to the bank. If it's a move-in ready condition, then most likely what you would have to do is we would have to just list it on the MLS to get a buyer, a retail buyer at a discount. All right. So let me see. I'm gonna move on. So that's basically what you would do on a pre MLS short sale, where from a bandit sign or from a direct mail, and a homeowner calls you, and you would do it as what you would normally do when you get a call. You go visit the homeowner and visit the property. All right. So, and then you can work with you can work with us, or I've been doing this since 2008. So I don't know that many third-party companies out there that does what I do. There are listing agents that do, what I do. There are also attorneys, but a lot of them, I work with a lot of attorneys and agents, and a lot of the agents and the attorneys don't like doing short sales, and that's, I guess, where I come in. I do all the grunt work. Only because I have a system in place, and I have a couple of assistants that help me. All right, so let's move on with MLS. Now, majority of the short sale listings on the MLS are processed by either the listing agent or the seller's attorney. Now, don't get me wrong. A lot of agents don't like doing it, but they do it because it's their business. I mean, it's not business, but they have to make a living, so they're forced to do it, because a lot of the banks are now forcing a lot of the work onto the agents. But before, what it used to be is a lot of the processing was done by the banks, but now they're forcing a lot of the workload to the listing agent. I don't know if there's an agent on the line. There's a thing called Equator. Those are things that was usually done by the bank, but now they're forcing the agent to do all of the work. But anyway, if let's say on an MLS you see a short sale listing and it's listed, and you want to go take a look at it. Now, if you call the agent and they're not calling you back, most likely they already have a buyer. If they're taking their time to call you back, most likely, and they're not really eager to sell the property, most likely they already have a buyer. But that doesn't mean that you can still keep following up on that. Find out who is working on the short sale with the bank. If it's the agent or the seller's attorney, you got to find out their track record and see, how many files they closed, how long it took them to close on a short sale on average. Because most of the time, a lot of short sale files just it sits on somebody's desk and it does nothing happens. Nobody works on it. That's the problem. Find out if the seller's side, for example, if there's a listing, and for example, if you want to work with my company, but you're the buyer's agent, or you're on the buyer side and there's a seller side, typically it's the seller side that will work on the short sale. But you can always ask the seller if you have somebody that's willing to work on it, a third party, for example, us, to work on the short sale. Some agents will let you do that, because they just don't want to do it. But sometimes they don't want to do it because whether it's privacy issue, because you have to divulge, you have to, get information, private information about the seller. So they may not want that. So, but there's still an untapped market. All you got to do is, because the only thing you do is you submit an offer on a property, and if they accept it, then you just let somebody else work on the file and just wait until the bank counters. I mean, I think, but I think the better way to get